Good evening, everybody. Welcome to League of Extraordinary Inventors. I'm your host, Mike from Faraday Research. It is Friday night. It is February 14th, 2025. Welcome to the show. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Hope everybody pleased their special someone today. And happy days, good times. It's Free Energy Friday. Philip, welcome back to Canada.
Yeah,
Once
thanks.
again. Yeah, we'll get into that because something funny happened with you when you were down there. So we'll talk about that in a few minutes.
Okay.
Nathan is with us again. Ben and Lulu, our regular cast, is here tonight. It is Free Energy Friday, so I don't know who wants to start. You could step up to the plate.
Well, we can go from left to right. Ben, you want to start?
So I haven't really been doing any experiments, but I have been revising my phase 2 guide. So as you guys know, I put out a do-it-yourself guide for the vortex coils, and it had some inaccuracies, but it had some really good information too. So today on the live stream, actually, we were going through it and making some revisions. And the only announcement that I have at the moment is that it will be released to the public in a few weeks when I finish the video that coincides with it.
Right on.
Cool.
Did you get your 3D printer fixed yet?
No, I haven't had time to even mess with it, honestly.
Yeah. I know. Was the motherboard gone on it, or?
It might be the power supply. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's most likely that's probably what it is. I know a lot of the Chinese printers, the power supplies go buggy on them. I used to have a TiVo Tornado, and then I finally gave it up and got my Queedy X3 or whatever it is printer. So it's quite a step up. Went from
Yeah, no, I definitely. I think it's just a simple fix. It's not going to be too expensive either if it's just a power supply.
Yeah.
But when I have the money, I definitely will look into maybe an upgrade to. I like the Creality, but maybe like a more advanced Creality, something that go a little faster.
You know what I'm finding with the 3D printers now. I would step up to a $900 machine for the reason that the quality of the parts and components are quite a bit better than, say, your $300 and $400 models.
Right.
Yeah, it's $900 to $1,000. Yeah, it's a little bit more expensive, but I'm just finding I'm getting a more consistent printing. Overall, the printer itself is better quality. You know what I mean?
No, that's a good route. And then I'll have two printers to work with, and
Yeah. You could have one as your workhorse, and then when you got to do some special jobs, then you got the really good printer that can do like really accurate prints. So, but I know Nathan, he's you got what, 5, right? You got 5 3D printers?
Mm-hmm. I have more than that.
More than that. How many you got?
About 8 to 10.
Really? You have that many? Holy cow, you got like a whole maker farm there.
Yeah. Well, when you got to prototype stuff, man, it helps to have a couple.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt. I bet your hydro bill loves that too, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's fine. I get offset with solar and stuff like that, so it all works out.
But even like if you do your printing more late at night, you're off peak hours, and then you get better rates, right?
I guess, but some of these prints are like 2-day prints. So, I have one just the two that are working on right now are 16 hours, so they won't be done until tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, see, like I noticed with my Queedy X Pro, my print speeds are a lot faster, and I'm still getting excellent quality. So that 16-hour print would be about 8 hours on my machine. So it's like double the speed. It's like 900 high-speed Travis that can print at 600 millimeters a second. That thing's a rocket, like complete rocket, and it doesn't compromise the quality, which is surprising. for a machine like that, and it's $1,000 machine, so it's not bad. I like it. It really
I know
speeds
some
up.
of the higher, some of the faster 3D printers, don't they? Some of them struggle if you put it at a lower setting. Some of them are made to go higher. Like if you want to
Yeah,
slow it down, sometimes they screw it up.
yeah, it's like a sweet spot you got to find, right? Like for
Mhm.
smaller prints, I find you could get away with a lot faster speeds.
Hmm.
And you know what? My printer, believe it or not, right out of the box, I did a benchy test on it, and I could not find a flaw at all on the benchy. I was so impressed with the first print on this machine. It was unbelievable. I've never been
Excuse
able
me.
to achieve that, especially on a new printer. Man, I just basically fired it up, did the bed leveling for the first time. It also has an oscillation feature in it. So what it'll do, wherever you put your machine, you'll go into this high frequency oscillation. It'll actually start shaking the printer. It's really cool. And it finds its resonant frequency on that surface and then corrects and makes it all zero. So even though there might be fast Travis, the machine could actually compensate itself in the controls so it doesn't shake. It's really cool. That's the first machine I've seen that on.
Does it have like
So
an
actually,
internal balancing beam, like for the head?
yeah. Well, it does. It has automatic bed leveling built right in it, but this oscillation thing is completely different. It actually makes the machine shake. It starts vibrating, and it does that for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then it's done. It's really cool. So, yeah, I was building rip wraps back in 2012, and just the technology has just gotten so much better, more reliable, right? And the one thing too I like about Queedy is they have a really good tech support. They have a really good website where you can get filament and you can get new nozzles and new print heads and sensors and heated beds, whatever parts you need. It has really good tech support that way. So
I just learned how to build them, man, and I just work them.
yeah,
I mean, there's no secret to it. It's really simple. You know what I mean? There's only so many things that go wrong, and there's only so many parts that they have.
yeah,
So, yeah, as long as you take care of them, man, then they work forever.
yep. Keep it fine tuned like a car. Everybody, live chat is open, so you have questions, comments for the panel, please post them. Usually our chat's on fire. Philip, I want to go back to you for a second. So we were talking offline about you coming across the border again. I think Mr. Philip is on the list.
Oh yeah, yeah. Every time I cross the border to go to the United States, I'm detained by the customs. In December, I was detained for an hour and a half. Now I was detained for 45 minutes, and they asked me like the first time. Just one sec.
That's hilarious. Yeah, we had a quick brown. Oh, okay. Don't worry about it. I'll talk about that later.
The first time it was, I did some stupid things when I was a teenager. Like we drove carts on a golf course illegally when I was 17. But it got erased. I thought it was erased when I was 18, but they claim it's erased, but the custom they can't see everything, even if you think it's erased. So
America's Most Wanted.
yeah, they asked me if I had like Canadian charges and American charges and things like that. But I couldn't remember what I did when I was a teenager, so I said no. And then they said, "Are you sure?" And I said, wait a second. Oh, yeah. Then I remembered when I was 17. But man, it's like, geez, come on, man. It's like, do I look like a dangerous terrorist?
America's Most Wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
Philip.
Oh, it's funny.
You'll
I
have
know.
to. Hey, your mugshot should be that picture that Nathan made for you.
Oh, I'll have to find that for you.
Yeah, the mugshot.
Yeah. And when the second time, it was like an interview, like, I almost had a light on, when you have a light under your face and you see the shadow, you look like a dangerous guy. It was almost the same thing. And they do some, interrogate me. They asked me what was, where I was going, where I was sleeping, what was my plan, why I was going there, for how long, and geez, man, it's like, give me a break. They already stopped me in December, and they stopped me again.
Jesus.
No, Phil, no, they just want an update to see where you're at with whatever, you were there for the first time. That's the only way they're going to have like updates on where you're at with the plan, Just remember.
Yeah,
So I don't think it's like they're targeting you like in a bad way, but it's just they need an update.
yeah, exactly. Maybe you're right. You're probably right. They want me to see if I if I go back to the defense conference or something like that, and if I have new
Yeah,
stuff.
that's what I think it is. Yeah, people
Yeah,
already know who you are. They know why you came here. They've already been vetted, screened, like every possible thing that they could, get information on you has already been done. And you already stated what you wanted. And so, like, oh, you're back in the United States. Why? What are you up to? It's like that.
yeah, they're watching me. That's for sure. That's not a conspiracy here. That's a fact.
Yeah, that's good. That means you're special.
But I did have time to make some cool calculations this week, despite being in San Diego. Do you guys want to share? Do you want me to share
Sure.
my stuff?
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. Partager l'écran.
We're never gonna say no.
Entire screen. Yep. All right. Here we go. Here we go. So if I wanted to share. Yeah, before I started talking, I want to share the image of capacitor. I'm gonna share. First, no, it's parallel plate. Okay, it's always better to use images. This one looks good. Okay, but first I want to share the images of San Diego. This is Pacific Beach right here. This is where I used to live 15 years ago. Right on the beach. No, not at this exact spot, but like 2 blocks away from there. It's very nice. La Haina. That's a beach house. You drink, you eat. So my friend lives right there, right next to it. He's been living there for 15 years actually, and yeah, it looks like that. It's very nice spot, and that's a sunset here. So
That's
now
nice.
now you know why they don't come to visit me in Canada. They can't get out of their. They can't even get out of their little neighborhood. um, so that's Oceanside. Oceanside, it's half an hour north of San Diego. That's where they filmed the first movie Top Gun. and that's the Top Gun house. Remember when Tom Cruise is driving his motorcycle next to the ocean? Well, that's exactly where they filmed that sequence, and that's a good old friend of mine. Uh, so yeah, that's that. And now the fun part.
Oh yeah.
All right, so I made. So when I talk about a parallel plate capacitor, it looks like that. It's like two plates with uh, two plates with charge um, charge plate of the opposite sign, so it creates a parallel electric field. And what I was thinking of doing, because I made calculations last time, and remember it follows up from last time. Last time I was talking about increasing the linear charge density um, of the linear charge density, so the electrons would have a strong nuclear force. But by increasing I made some calculation, and to increase the linear charge density up to 0.005 coulombs per meter, using the equation highlighted right here, then I would need 565 megavolts for. I would need to have a capacitor with 565 megavolts. This way, I would be able to create a linear charge density of 0.005 coulombs per meter, and by doing that, I would be able to create is to increase the strong nuclear force between electrons. So then that means the electrons would attract each other. So electrons of the same charge would actually attract each other, because all particles have the strong nuclear force, just at a different amplitude. But it's possible to have electrons that attract each other. And how to do that is by uh, um, using a capacitor, and you put an electric wire in the middle of the capacitor. You have an electric current, like a DC current, and you have the capacitor of 565 megavolts. And man, I'm sure something weird will happen at that point. The electric current will the electrons in the wire, um, they will actually attract each other. So it would kind of coagulate the current. I don't know what will happen, but I know for a fact something weird will happen.
Philip, those two plates there, I've seen an experiment done before where one of the professors, what they did was charge each side of the plates with about 9 volts DC. And what he did was, at a split second, he would pull apart the two plates very fast. And when he did that, it went from 9 volts to like 800 volts. So you would pull those plates apart really, really fast. So you get a huge influx of inductance into those plates, because
Okay.
when you have the two plates charged, you got the dielectric field in between the two plates. They're getting charged. And what happens is when you pull those plates apart really fast, the induction that happens in between the plates is enormous.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it. They did I think it was MIT. They did like a lecture, and the guy was showing the 2 plates. He would charge them up. They weren't charged up very high. I think it was like 6 or 10 volts.
Okay.
But the second he pulled the 2 plates apart, it shot up to like almost a kilovolt.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
Oh
you
yeah.
might
So
want.
it's the acceleration between the plate or something like that.
Yeah, well, the dielectric field it creates a huge amount of inductance between, because when you got the 2 charged plates, the dielectric in between the 2 plates is charged, right?
Yeah.
So when the plates get separated, the inductance goes through the roof because it's trying to keep the charge on the plates. When it does that, that's where the energy comes into the system. And this is where Einstein, basically all his theories go out the window at this point, because there shouldn't be any power entering that system. The voltage according to Einstein, that shouldn't happen, but it does. So when
Uh,
you pull those plates apart, you get a huge surge of inductance in the dielectric median in between the plates. And that proves that energy is entering the system from outside.
okay.
And they used to have a big problem back in the early 1900s at the switching station. All right. So when they wanted to cut the power off, every time they did that, the switch would blast. And almost every time they did that, somebody died.
Oh yeah.
So it got into a big fight with GE and Westinghouse. Oh, your switch sucks. And, the installs go back and forth. And eventually they create those big towers um, that would release the energy. And when that happens, when they release the energy, the energy density in that space is so huge that you get a runaway. You basically get these lightning bolts shooting off into free space. There's some really good pictures. Dollar did a whole uh, lecture on this. So
Wow. Interesting.
yeah, very
Do you have a
interesting.
link for that?
I'll try to look for it while you guys continue to talk. I'll try to find it. I know I got it in my favorites somewhere.
Cool. And so yeah, so the idea was to have an electric current between these plates using a wire, but ideally it would have electrons and positrons, because the goal was to increase the charge. The goal is to create super electrons and super positrons with an electron with a greater charge than one electric charge, which is 1 times 10 to the minus 19 coulombs. So the goal is to have 2 times the charge, and to knock the electron, the super electron, and the super positron together, and see if I can create a photon going 2 times the speed of light. And so the positron is they do have a they do have a positron gun, actually. From the University of Michigan created a positron gun back in 2013, a long time ago. So they do have a gun. So they could have a gun of an electron and a gun of positron, knock them together and see if it's going to create a photon traveling at 2 times the speed of light between the parallel capacitor plates. So yeah, my goal is to go faster than the speed of light by increasing the charges of the electron and the positron, create annihilation, and yeah, man, I think it's possible, man. According to what I was saying the previous weeks, I'm convinced that the electric field of the electron and positron is converted into kinetic energy that gives the speed of the photon. And so all you have to do is increase the charge of the electron and the positron, and you should have a photon going faster. So yeah, I'm pretty sure, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I need to. Even if it works, I'm not sure. I suspect that the photon will have to travel between the capacitor plates. I suspect that if you go outside the 0.005 linear charge density, that it's going to slow down again to the regular speed of light. So yeah, that's my hypothesis here, and I've got the exact numbers, but I know something weird is going to happen regardless. So if electrons can attract each other, um, it's I'm getting, it's something you can't predict what's going to happen, basically. So, but yeah, that's a cool experiment. So that's what I want to share here. Um, I want to say something else too, but I forgot. Um, yeah, what was it? It was about. Anyway, I forgot. If I have flashback, I'll let you know.
Oh,
But
I got that thing here. I'll show you a quick little clip. He's talking about the power lines, how they're arcing across when they open up the switch. So it's basically the same principle of when you have those charge plates, you're creating such a charge in the dielectric in between the plates. And when you finally pull it apart or release it, you're going to get a huge inductive surge go
yeah,
through the plates. So I'll show this really quick. I'll do a screen share here. Hold on. Print, share screen. Okay. All right.
Equivalent sine wave, since the assumption of equivalent sine wave would introduce a phase displacement of an angle that doesn't exist. This condition made itself apparent in the line switching equipment of the primordial electrical industry. Let's see if we have some. Now this is a prime example of what happens. Okay, we're trying to turn off a 220,000 volt power line, and this is the switch. It stands about 50 feet high. Now, what they've done is, in order to eliminate the oil tanks, which normally break the main discharge, they're using vacuum columns. And what it is the mechanism breaks the circuit inside the vacuum columns. But being that there's no gas or oil or anything to carry the current through to the zero part of the cycle, the voltage tends to,
That's your laser.
the voltage tends to raise to infinity, trying to maintain the power flow. This is where the switches start to explode as they're opening here. Now, normally, these cells here break the electrical circuit in the vacuum so there can be no arc, but that's kind of the last thing you want to do because the momentum of the electricity will come thundering back down the line to try to keep it going. And what I just read from Steinmetz is in the actual arcs where the switch contacts are breaking open, is you start to get energy anomalies in these arcs. And the system goes into a cumulative oscillation and continues to accumulate energy until something blasts. So as we go through the opening of the switch, you can see where now the fire has jumped across and there's no way to stop the flow and it's just accumulating. I think we've got one more shot before it explodes. There we go. Now it's getting ready for the final blast. And then the final shot, that's another switch. Okay. That's the final shot where it shorts out the power line. The intensity of the light's so great that the camera can't really, it's shorted out the camera. So you can't really see you can't see it at this point very clearly. It buzzed it out, but that's a lot of power there. You're talking about the electrical discharge there is probably equivalent to maybe 20 locomotives running full bore, hauling trains over the Tehachapi Pass.
But I'm sorry, let's look at this right. It's interesting. A plasma is established inside these vacuum switch chambers?
No, the whole idea is to have no plasma,
Right.
but being that the current is not cut off at a 0 point in the cycle, as the electrical momentum starts to come thundering back down the line to maintain the current.
So a plasma is created.
inside it does not create a plasma, but the problem is the voltage gradient goes so high. Can we go back to the first one? When it first starts to blow, okay? What happens is the voltage gradient now, the electric field around this, we'll get into it later. This is not just objects in isolated space. Right. The electric field density has become so severe, okay, that it has to strike out in the atmosphere to create a plasma because it can't create it in the switch. So you might have an electrical field here in the order of maybe 10 or 15 volts per megavolts per centimeter. And so the fire breaks out. See, normally when the switch opens, the remaining fire is dissipated in these opening arms. As you see going through the video, it goes step by step. These were live pictures, but we couldn't have they're stunning to watch move. So you can see now the arcs have come off the switch and now found their way back to the line terminals. And there's no way to stop this now. And then the arcs are changing resistance. This is the key thing. The arcs are cyclically changing their resistance with respect to time on the alternating current cycle. And in the process of doing this, they're creating a imaginary, or I wouldn't say imaginary, but another dimensional energy that has to come out into this dimension. And this is a process very worthy of study. This is what Steinmetz is mentioning here in Article 241.
Then I would like to clear up one thought. Because a lot of folks keep getting, like Art Bell, for instance, keep getting these mysterious voltages occurring on their antenna arrays, is that related to this concept here?
No, not directly.
But it does indicate that there's something else coming in from a different dimension set, maybe.
Well, what it is basically mutual induction to the ionosphere and the sun. And those electric fields are always changing, but it is an electrical gradient. But there's no plasma other than the sun itself. But then we're getting into a system of much larger dynamics and more factors coming in.
It's not because
Right. Okay,
So there you got it. There you have it. That is pretty much explains what's happening between those two plates. The same thing. You're just doing it with a capacitor, right? So if you're pulling the plates apart really quick, your voltage is going to go up through the roof. You'll have a power gain.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's really neat stuff. I highly recommend people watch all these old videos with Dollard. If you're not like electrical savvy or just getting into this kind of thing, start watching every single video that he did back from the 80s to the present. And he'll give you a pretty good education, even though in the beginning it all sound like, a foreign language to you. By the time you finish, go ahead, Ben.
Oh no, I was just saying, could you post a link of that?
Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, there's now there's two websites. There's ericdollard.com, which is a front site to try to defame him. So the real website is ericpdollard.com. That's his real site. So they try to defame this guy whatever they can possibly do it. So
yeah, those websites, those phony websites are usually tells that, somebody's onto something and somebody's trying to cover somebody up.
They destroyed pretty much every lab that they ever put out.
I think they did one with John Hutchinson too.
Oh yeah, they took John's stuff down about 4 or 5 times. Yeah. And I talked to John, personally about that. So there's the link for that video. It's in the live chat.
Nice.
Watch that whole video. You'll learn a ton. Yeah. So
I'll put that in my chat as well for my audience.
Yeah, just start going through all his old videos. He talks about the sun and that the sun is not a solid and it's actually a hollow. And he all this research was done when he worked for RCA. And he's got some pretty interesting stuff, like even right into audio and music. Music, he says, is about as closest thing to energy as you could get. So there's a definite correlation between music and actual energy or electricity. They're one and the same. So there's a lot of good stuff there.
Yeah, thanks. I'll check it out.
there's a lot of stuff. I'll find another video. He's got a few really good videos that everybody should watch. Nathan, you want to have anything to show or?
Yeah, well, kind of working on my printing stuff right now.
Oh, okay. How's that coming, anyways? How's that coming along?
You can see the shells; they're building out, and this is the second size. There's the first size here. They go. Sorry, it's white. You can't see it that well. Maybe I'll show it in black, but it's one inside of the next.
Oh, okay.
So you can see kind of the size difference there.
Yeah.
And the next one has about the same size, and they're almost done on this second one. So it's almost ready to go to the third one. But there's pretty decent spacing on this when you look at it. From right here, the little nub right here is where the shell goes on the outside. And it'll keep that spacing all the way around so I can put in different materials. So if I later on want to take this outside shell and make this pure aluminum, I can do it. If I want to put something in between this shell and this shell, because they'll interact like this halfway through, like a locking mechanism. And then inside that right here, you can put whatever you want. So if you want to put an electret in there or whatever, you could do it. But it's coming together very well. I got 2 on the printer right now, and then I'll have 2 more tomorrow, and it'll probably take a little while to finish them up, and then it's time for assembly.
Right on.
So
looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's getting there.
Yeah. I'm just trying to find more links here. Oh yeah, shoot. That's not what I wanted.
Yeah, and somebody asked me. Go ahead.
Do they sell printers, 3D printers, like have a metal filament on them?
Yep, they do.
They do, but the metal in them is very light. The amount. It's I have the metal filament here, and when I hook it up, say like a Tesla coil or something, there's not much going on.
That's very
So it's a very small amount. So yeah, I had somebody ask me about the PLA, and since everything's interlocking, it won't matter. The way these things are going to get sealed, the way they're going to get taped, everything, it won't matter. 3,000 RPM would be no problem. I don't even think I'll get it that high. It'll probably be like 1,500 RPM just to see what the fields are at first. But yeah,
Right on. Looking good so far. I got another video I want to show here. This actually might be my next project. I just want to see what people. Oh, hold on, wrong button here. Present. Share screen. This is another laser saber video.
Oh, Ulysses from my chat said.
Dude, my Nathan Stubblefield coil replication.
What's that? Say that again.
I said Ulysses from my chat said he's super excited about your project.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Right on.
I have made a couple changes to this coil. Instead of iron wire, I'm using aluminum wire. It's a lot easier to wind, and I had an idea that it might create a crisper magnetic field collapse, a faster collapse to the magnetic field than the iron wire. So anyway, that's what I'm using on this coil. I do have my secondary on here now. I've gotten a lot of questions about whether or not the coil needs to be wet to operate. It does need to be moist, but not too wet. This coil, I've not wet this coil down, and I guess since I made it. When I made it, I wet it down some, but that was 3 days ago, and I've not moistened it at all since then. And it seems to be working better now as the coil dries out. So yeah, I have my soft iron core and my copper and aluminum wire run side by side out to, I don't know, about halfway out. And then I've got a secondary on the rest of the coil. The LED that you see over here is connected to the secondary. When you do a make and break switch connection between the copper and the aluminum wire, it generates current in the secondary coil exactly as Nathan Stubblefield described. You can see here that when I connect and disconnect those primary wires, there is definitely a current induced in the secondary. And what I've designed for my coil is this little rotating magnetic wheel here. All it is a bearing on a spindle, and I've got 4 magnets on it. And I have a reed switch. So when this reed switch closes, it pulses, well, it actually turns the primary core of this coil and the soft iron core into electromagnet. And that electromagnet pushes this wheel around to the next position, as you see here, and it just takes off and spins up faster and faster. But what that's also doing is it's pulsing the magnetic field through the secondary coil and generating the light and the current you see here in the LED. So it's very, very interesting. It works exactly as Nathan Stubblefield described in his patent. And it's just a lot of fun. It's really, really a neat little gizmo. When I show it to people, they're always sure that I have a battery hidden away in this coil somewhere. It's kind of hard to believe that the coil is its own battery electromagnet self-generating induction coil, basically like Stubblefield described it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I just thought I would share it now that I've got it finished. I do plan on putting this in the ground and seeing if I detect any power increase from having it in the ground. That'll be my next test.
Yep. Another cool project.
Yeah, that's
Talking
really
about
neat.
the solenoid, I was wondering if I had a solenoid with 565 megavolts in it, and it would create an electric field. But inside the solenoid, it would be null. I mean, the net electric field would be null, but I'm sure something weird will happen because, like I calculated with the annihilation process, when you have 2 opposite electric fields, they annihilate, but it creates kinetic energy. So I suspect inside the solenoid is going to create a some sort of thrust or kinetic energy that would propel like some sort of Lorentz force, something like that. But there's just a hypothesis here, an idea that it might or might not work. There's just like a TRL1 idea that they did not test. But
Oh, you're gonna get a force, all right. You put that many volts into anything, you're getting a force. So,
yeah,
dude, that's a lot of energy. You know that? That's a ton of energy. That's not child's play, man. That's like, let's go up to the station itself and plug in because you're not getting it anywhere else. That's a huge amount of energy.
yeah, like I was saying earlier, I would need a Van de Graaff generator, a Mars generators, a Cockcroft-Walton multiplier, or a tokamak.
And maybe the size of a 2-story building or something. It's a lot of energy. I mean,
Yeah.
you couldn't be anywhere near that thing. Like just the voltage coming off of it, if you get a stray volt, man, it'll go right through you.
Vaporized.
Yeah.
It'd be just poof.
I don't know that would pass the engineering standard of let's get in it and write it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like putting a lightning bolt between your legs and saying it's fun.
Yeah.
Wow.
What's that? What's that song from Metallica? Ride the Lightning.
Yeah, it feels right in the lightning. All right, that's you got to find a way to bring that energy level down.
Yeah, good point. Or I have more. I lower it down and I have more sensitive equipment, something like that.
Oh yeah, you couldn't run a computer in there.
Yeah.
There's no way. Can't even, I don't even know if you can get a ground on that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're at that voltage potential, you can't mess around. That's like a life and death situation, man.
It's more like a dead situation. I'm sure to die.
Phil's really making an incineration chamber, is what it really is. We're all going to go in there and just be instantly incinerated.
We'll do that in the International Space Station.
Huh. Oh, wow.
Yeah, but these levels, there's a lot of cool thing. Not only that, but it can remember the 200,000 amps can create. You can start creating force fields. So we're not very far. It's not like astronomical type of energy. So
200,000 amps?
yeah,
That's not astronomical to you?
That I don't know what is if that isn't.
Yeah. We got the power of a planet, but yeah, not that bad.
yeah.
I mean, I guess it would work if you get it that high. I don't want to be anywhere near it. Please videotape from 10 miles down the road.
All right.
you get
I'll show it to you next week.
Oh my God, you get a runaway on that? Whew.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Just kidding.
Well, they said Dollard was saying they had problems back in the day with the New York subway system. They had a runaway happen. He said it lifted the concrete off the ground 3 feet.
Oh yeah.
Well, there's some proof for you, Phil.
Yeah.
It's lifting concrete.
So
Yeah.
for the force field, so my experiment worked already.
We're talking time travel here, Philip.
I'm not jumping in that hole. There's no chance.
That's a hole you don't want to jump into.
No. Oh, yeah. Wow.
So yeah, that's all I got this week, man. I want to say something else, but I forgot, man. I need to knock my head because that's how I have great ideas when I knock my head. When I have Carson in, knock my head, I have great ideas.
30, 40 coffees later.
Yeah.
No, but it's a good topic, though, getting this huge amount of induction, when you release a switch. And why do you think I use my spark gap switch? That's exactly what he's talking about that's happening on the power lines. The same thing's happening in my Renegade, but a very small scale and controllable.
Yeah, but I don't need that. I can use pulsed, currents or voltage. It can be pulsed as well. You don't need to. It doesn't need to last for 10 minutes.
No, and that's basically all my technology is on pulse technology.
Yeah.
Same even with the Tesla coil, it's all pulsed.
Yeah.
It's not like steady current. It's a high frequency, high voltage in some cases, or lower voltage and lower frequency. It's just a matter of what band you're working in, right?
Yeah.
But the same principle with my switch. He pretty much explains what's going on, but mine's happening at a very, very small controlled level.
Okay, I see.
Interesting.
Yeah.
When you were playing that video of Dollard and he was explaining everything, your switch or your a spark gap is what immediately came to mind. Oh, you're muted.
You muted.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's where part of my idea came from, to start using the high-speed relay switch. So, and that's why I was getting that extra surge of power. And he pretty much explained what's going on. So it
That's
started to
awesome.
make sense. Mind you, I'm using way less power than what he's talking about. Now, though, that switch station, I have one of those switch stations about maybe 2 kilometers from where I live. I'd love to see them open that up one day. That'd be awesome. Because from where that switching station is, about, I would say maybe about a mile away from there, we have a power plant. So we got a lot of juice going through that circuit. It'd probably make 30, 40-foot lightning bolts coming off the thing. I'd love to see that happen. I'll take a picture of one of them when I get a chance, when I'm down in that area. It's not far from where I live. I'll take a picture of it and I'll show it on the show next time. But pretty much the same thing. There are these arms that come out, they hold, and then when they want to open it, they swing open like this, and that's when the big lightning bolt happens.
Cool. Dude, I think my neighbor started his fireplace, dude. God, it smells like crap in here.
Did you start the barbecue at least?
Dude, I fucking hate that thing. I would buy the house next to me just to bash that thing to pieces and throw it away.
What's he cooking?
Nothing. It's a wood burning stove, but the guy puts like 500 logs in there, and then his house is lower than mine, so it goes right into the vents or windows of my house, and it's like, dude, it's not that fucking cold. I mean, we're in California, for God's sakes. He thinks it's like Canada. It's just, it's insane. It drives me up the fucking wall, dude. Oh, man.
Maybe he's burning garbage.
Yeah, dude, I don't know.
Maybe he's burning people.
Oh, dude, that's even worse. Yeah.
Your neighbor is Hannibal Lecter, maybe?
Yeah, I don't think so. Dude, I just know
it
that
doesn't matter what he's burned. Just the smoke alone, will get to you.
Yeah. I may just move because of that, dude. I fucking hate it.
Doesn't the city do anything about it? Like,
they weren't supposed to permit it, and they did it anyway.
The city of LA, they want you to burn as much as possible, so you might burn the whole city at the same time.
Yeah. They put in a thing where you can't have those kind of fireplaces anymore in California. So they're not supposed to be that legal out here. Because the houses are butts to nuts. You know what I mean? They're like, I fart and my neighbor smells it. It's bad, dude. They're too close.
There's no space.
Yeah, none.
They're even worse here.
And this guy's got a forest chopped up in his backyard, man. So as soon as he goes ablaze, we're all fucked. So there's no hope for my house at that point. I might as well just get the fuck out because we're all going down. So,
yeah, it can be irritating for sure.
Oh yeah.
Your neighbors
You can't.
that close. Have they ever experienced anything weird with the experiments that you run in your garage?
Oh, I'm sure they have. They don't say anything.
Nobody said.
My son's speakers start going off and doing sounds and things like that, and a bunch of weird stuff happens around my house. Yeah, but
Test the Van de Graaff generator on their house.
yeah,
Yeah. Come move to Canada, man. There's a lot of nice space out here. We got tons of room.
yeah, it gets too cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can make a nice big fire.
Oh yeah, just what I hate. Thank you.
Yeah. And you're taxed to death, so you're not. As soon as you come in, you're not going to be able to get out because you're going to be taxed to death.
Yeah,
It's like Hotel. It's not. You know, Hotel California, the song. They say, well, once you get in, you cannot get out.
yeah, that's what it is.
That's not true. It should be Hotel Canada. once you come in Canada, you taxed to you so much tax to death that you cannot get out.
Yeah.
The big beast is Justin Trudeau. You know they tried to kill the beast with their force. Well, the beast is Justin Trudeau.
Oh
He
yeah.
resigned. He resigned, but he's still there.
Yeah, he's like a hemorrhoid that won't go away. It's true. Sorry.
He gives hope, but he never leaves. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
Justin
He's like
Trudeau.
Yeah, he's like the uninvited guest.
Just there to drink all your beer.
Yeah, exactly. Or give it away to the, he's there. He's there to bring. He's gonna bring his bag, take all the beer in your fridge. And he's gonna go back home.
Yeah.
He'll probably shove it in his jacket and leave.
Yeah. Jeez.
Oh man.
Oh, man. He was at the AI conference in France this last week. Eh? Since I seen him on TV, I'm like, oh, there's the schmuck. JD Vance was there. Yeah, did a speech about AI and all that stuff. Yeah, it's on YouTube actually. The whole it was not sure where in France. If it was in Paris or whatever. Yeah.
Dude, they're just asking for trouble with that AI.
Oh yeah, they want to go full blown AI, man.
Asking for it. It's bad enough, dude, when people don't do experiments and they go in there and use it and they get stupid answers. And then some people believe the answers because they don't realize that they're wrong. And it's just a big poop storm. It's not fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the United
every
Health AI had like a 90% error rate.
Yeah.
Every time I use the AI to make calculations, it makes mistakes, but it's harder. It's harder to correct something wrong than do the math from scratch from yourself. So so it's a waste of time. It's like the same thing with Einstein. Einstein did a lot of mistakes, so it's harder to admit he made mistakes, to correct them, than to just start with a new theory from scratch. You know what I mean?
Oh, I get it. I mean, but if you're doing calculations every day, it shouldn't be that bad.
Yeah, but it's
I was listening to something about AI. The problem with it is each person that interacts with it, it teaches it a different style. So it always updates, on ideas or whatever the concept of interaction that learns from it for the next person. So it picks up a lot of bad data, bad information, because it's not like there's one central command for the information. Everybody's a participant.
yeah, but they will use it for disinformation pretty
Yeah.
soon.
Oh,
Like they use the media for disinformation for so long.
Oh,
So you will just wait until Carl Schwab's puts his hand on AI.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
it might be shady in certain contexts, but regarding like looking up data that's on the internet, like just archived stuff, it's pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. To do things it's trained on or do things mainstream is good. But if you ask it
Yeah, but when
to
you get like subjective and you ask
yeah,
it like opinions and stuff, that's when it starts getting shaky.
exactly. Or you ask it to read a paper, your paper, for example, that it's not trained on, so
Right.
it's gonna throw a whole bunch of crap.
No, that's a perfect example too. It's not a straightforward like looking up fetching data type of situation,
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
gonna have its own context and implications and
Yeah,
interpretations.
yeah.
wow.
It's pretty funny. I watch once in a while before going to bed. Whenever I need to fall asleep, I watch the podcast of Dr. Unzicker, you know,
Hmm.
Dr. Unzicker, the from Germany, and now his podcast, all he's doing is he's interviewing the Chat GPT, the latest version. I think it's O1, and
The one where they give you like the virtual face and animated face.
the animated face. Oh, you mean the videos?
Yeah, there's a Chat GPT version where it's like all animated now. There's a face that talks to you. It's kind of creepy.
Oh yeah.
We'll have one with Trudeau's face on it talking to you.
Yeah, that's gonna scare the kids, man.
You have to turn the pointer on your computer into a hand, a backhand him.
I love that about Mike's videos, by the way. I see his hand in there. It's like a little hand. It's like a fake hand that almost looks like half the time. Pointing over here and go to here to this. Cracks me up, man. Because you see the smiley face get happy and sad.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I love it.
At least you know it's Mike every time on there.
Yeah, his videos are fun and goofy.
Oh, man.
So you guys full of chocolates today or tonight?
My wife's got her chocolates. She still wants her flour. I said, it's freaking February. There's like 3 feet of snow outside and she wants flowers.
Yeah, I walked to the flower store and I got there like 13 minutes after they closed. So I was like, damn.
Oh.
You can come back home and you say, "Well, I tried," you know.
Yeah, you're in the doghouse.
Horrible. Like you plan out all other activities and one activity that your significant other matters to, like you make every, excuse in the book. Like if it was like a part for one of your experience, you would go 9 feet of snow to get that thing,
Well, maybe they should put the stores next to each other then. Get her more flowers. You got to say you're sorry for spending all the money at some point.
Yeah, exactly.
Go get flowers. So like before 12.
My daughter reminded me yesterday. Had to take me down to the store to get everything. Man, I hate leaving my house these days, man. It just sucks.
Yeah, you just hate interacting with people outside.
Oh, it's horrifying. They're so different than I am.
Yeah, you feel like an alien.
Yeah.
Oh, Nathan, show that picture you showed before we went on with you as the alien.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was funny. We were watching David Rossi, and he said a blue alien showed up to tell him the answer about free energy and cold energy and how it works and how the room is your energy source for everything. And it sounded so much like every single thing that I ever talk about on my channel that I think Phil and I came to the understanding that he was actually talking about me the whole time.
Who is this guy?
We have here, Nathan, put the picture up.
Give me just a second. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
There you go. So there you go. I stood over his bed and gave him all the answers. I can 100% swear on the Bible that I did not probe anybody that night. Oh, oh,
That's what I said too. That was quite a diet plan.
yeah. Well, it was like a mirror effect, so it made me look smaller. Blew up my head and shrunk my body, and it blew. Oh,
Yeah, perfect.
I have a question. The free energy Fridays, that term, is that like you coined that, Mike, right? Or is this something like common?
Well, me, well, I guess it was well over a year ago. Me and Bernie kind of started saying that for the Friday night show. So I can't really take all the credit on it. Um,
Well, I'm saying that because some other channel that is live, right, was earlier today, or I don't know if they're still, they use the same like
sure.
thing.
Yeah,
And
of course. Yeah, of
and
course.
somebody stole like our, this show.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah.
You know what? The free energy, saying free energy is such a misused term. I really hate using it, but most people, that's how they identify it with, is free energy, when really it's not like that at all. It's kind of a, you know what I mean? Like it just
It's a mutual
it's
exchange. It's not
Eh,
free. There's nothing free.
Yeah, I know, but
yeah.
Friday part, free energy Fridays, like the
Yeah,
whole.
it's just it's like a catchphrase now. It's really
Yeah, and it's people cling to it because it's familiar. That they're not gonna understand some of the more esoteric terms, but you say free energy, they're gonna know exactly what kind of topic you're talking about.
yeah. That Bernie didn't you guys come up? Didn't he have it on his show? I
Yep,
remember a
yep.
while back we were
Well,
Free Energy Friday on his show.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like me and Bernie been using it for a while there. So I can't take all the credit. It was more Bernie's idea than anything. So yeah, it kind of stuck, and a lot of people use it. Even Ashton Forbes uses it now, and it's like whatever. I'm not copywriting every freaking thing that people say. It's ridiculous. So stupid.
Well, it just means we're trendsetters.
But you
People,
should, you
people
should,
copy us. Yeah.
you should, you should actually, you should copyright everything you say because it's especially you, Nathan, because you're under the radar.
Yeah,
I could just see Nathan in the blue aliens, costume. That's what you could. That's what you could do for Halloween now. Become a blue alien.
oh man, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, I'll be honest with you. If you looked at the script of what was said on that show, I mean, literally, you could walk over to my show and hear every single word that was said. Just about. It's so bad. Like, and he may come up with it independently, but that is just too freaky. That you would have everything I would describe in the last 2 months right there in front of you, and it's like I'm agreeing with the whole thing as I'm watching. I'm like, yeah, that's the way it goes. Yeah, it does do that. And then like Phil sends me a message. Hey, are you sure he didn't take that from you? And I'm thinking, fuck, man, it seems like it because it's all the same shit I keep saying.
Who was that was saying that?
Well, the biggest difference is, man, is I have the receipts, I have the builds, I have all of them, and I'm sitting there looking at it, going, "Fuck, man,
See,
let's go over there and put up or shut up, and let's see what you got, because, buddy, I got it."
you know what? The guy. I'm not going to say the guy's name because I don't want people to start going after me. But we all know who we're talking about here. He hasn't shown one freaking experiment ever. I've been watching him for the last couple of years. He has not shown one freaking experiment to prove anything that he has spoken about. Nothing. Zero.
Yeah. And he keeps saying
Okay.
like, "Oh, I cannot talk about it
Oh,
because I signed
yeah,
an NDA and blah blah
yeah,
blah."
exactly. You know what? I'm under an NDA, but I've got over 500 videos on my channel showing other stuff that I've worked on. I haven't seen one freaking thing he has done. Zero. So
Yeah.
that's all I got to say about it.
Yeah, it may just be a freak thing, dude. It may have just been two people coming up with the same idea at different times. You never know.
It's
But-
funny. He came with the same idea I did about the liquid metal vortex. Exactly at the same time. Same thing with you, Nathan. Exactly at the same time. He has the same idea. Yeah, right. You know.
Well, maybe I should tell him I just lift the anti-gravity with my farts, and then he'll come out with a video on it and tell he'll be sitting on the machine passing wind trying to lift it. I mean, that proved the point, I guess. I mean, put a little misinformation out there and see if it falls for it. You know what I mean?
Anti-gravity powered by Taco Bell.
That's it.
Oh no! All honesty, I'm not trying to talk shit. He probably came up with it on his own.
But
I
you
won't.
know what?
Whatever.
The way I see, what we're doing. Okay, Nathan does a ton of experiments. I've got a whole bunch of experiments. Even Philip, he's got experiments and videos. We're actually showing stuff that we're actually building and actually showing the viewers that okay, yeah, I do have some stuff on the side that I can't show you right now for reasons, but I've got a ton of shit on my site right now that you could watch that I'm totally transparent with. Like one of my my best builds is my Renegade device. That's my baby, and
Yeah.
I've disclosed everything on that device. Everything. I'm hiding nothing on that. And
Yeah,
I've
that's a
got
pretty
tons-
impressive piece of equipment right there.
So, but when I see all these guys, some people like to just hear themselves speak, and come up with all these ideas. But I don't see any experiments. That doesn't help with your credibility. Anybody can do this.
Yeah,
You
it's
know what I
it's
mean?
sad that people can't figure it out. You need to warn people. Watch, people are buying are falling for it so easily. You know, you need to tell people like, watch that guy. The guy is he has a big mouth but an empty brain or something like that. It's
I think people like those guys. They're creating entertainment.
yeah, exactly.
They're
And I think entertainment is the opposite of being an intellectual because intellectuals are more introvert. They're less fun to listen to. But these people they're a little bit more extrovert. They have a big mouth and all they do is say whatever Nathan said yesterday.
Well, it's so funny because I've never heard anybody, and here's the kicker: describe the fields the way I do, and it has to do with the static on the inside, and it has to do with the scalar on the outside. And I'm sorry, I've never seen a video where anybody else out there put it that way, except for me. And
not even
when I
that.
when I came out with a video like a week ago on fields and exactly how they work, and then all of a sudden it comes up, is that the way they work? I mean, it's pretty interesting, man. The only bad thing is as soon as he gives you a detail on exactly how it's built, it's the giveaway. It's like, oh, now we get it because there's only one guy that builds them that way.
Yeah. Yeah, good point.
And
So you have
that's
your
the thing.
signature.
But what helps with Nathan's credibility is he's building the stuff. He's showing people. He's showing the demonstrations. He's methodically going through how he puts it together, what the fields are doing, how they interact with each other, and he's showing it. Not just talking about it. He's showing it.
Exactly.
That's big. That's why his channel has taken off the way it's taken off for a good reason, right?
Nathan, I got a lot of stuff to do. I'm having trouble following up because it's very, very dense. But go for it, man. I mean, yeah, you're very rich in what you're doing, so don't stop.
I'm just gonna step out quick for a smoke. I'll be right back.
Oh, can you? I just wanted to share my screen before you leave.
Sure. Yeah. You'll
just
have
one
to, and when you're done, you'll have to remove it. I'll be outside. I won't be long. That's it there.
sec. Yeah.
Okay.
So So yeah, I just want to share that regarding the C++ superset software I've been working on. I'm gonna do a presentation online at the C++ online conference on February 27th. This is a conference with the best C++ programmers in the world, and so yeah, I'll be presenting my software there, and any programmer out there that would like to join are most welcome to join. Again, it's cplusonline.uk, the website, and so yeah, it's gonna be cool. I need to get ready because I'll be talking for an hour at that conference. So
Wow, that's cool.
yeah, thanks. That's what I want to share here. Because there's a lot of physicists like programming, and a lot of programmers like physics. So I'm sure that there's hidden programmers here in the crowd here. So don't be shy.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. I remember when I was a kid, we used to have the was it Tandy 1000 or the Odyssey, and you write your own programs for that, like little games, war games and stuff. Kind of like Battleship Online is what it was like.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that was old school, man. Back in the MS-DOS days. I say that most people probably don't even know what that is, but I know you do. So,
or Defender and
yeah, it's old school stuff.
Yeah.
Back when Pong was a thing.
Yeah. Frogger. Remember Frogger?
Oh yeah, Pitfall.
Yeah, Pitfall. That was cool, man. I played that game for so long. That game never stops, you know. It's like you think you're done, and you have like it never ends. Crazy.
Yeah. Oh man, I instantly felt older when I described those things. Yeah.
I shit you not, I worked at a place that actually utilized MS-DOS like 6 years ago.
What
no,
is it?
That's
Is it Raytheon or something?
No. It was a Pizza Hut, man. Their system was old as hell.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, if you know the quick keys in MS-DOS, you could backdoor that system so fast. Like, you know what I mean? Just find out where the run file is and see what it is, and then you got everything that you want from them. It was such an easy system to hack. So, yeah, and then they go to Windows, and it's like Hello World. You know, I don't know. Sometimes it's all the same. So once you learn a little bit of it, then you'll learn a lot of it, and it's like, okay, well, let's just play around a little bit and see where we get to.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think regarding Windows, I think they did a good move to put the focus on the operating system, because they made sure that all the application except theirs would crash, So remember, yeah, that's true. Remember when you were using WordPerfect or Lotus 123 or Netscape, they would always crash. But Microsoft Office for some reason would never crash.
Nope.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
It's the same reason why when I'm using Google Maps on my iPhone, it always screws up.
Dude, I just hate when it does its download and it's like, they want it to restart. And I keep telling it no. Like, you're arguing with this stupid computer. Like, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to do my work here. And then you go to take a leak and it restarts your computer on you. And you're like, fucking shit. You lost everything. Oh, absolutely hate that garbage. I keep turning it off too. And then it finds a way to turn itself back on in the next month. And I'm like, you son of a bitch. turn me back off again. I like argue with my computer like all the time. Like I yell at it because there ain't nobody else in here, so I can yell. So yeah, arguments with your computer. That's one's bad. That's why I don't like AI because they be telling me stuff the same way. Oh yeah, I didn't do this. Well, fuck you. I ain't doing none of it. Started asking it, you
Don't
my
tell me
wife
what
or
to do,
something? I
bud.
mean, what happened? Oh man, it's like calling tech support. You might as well give up right then. If you're that desperate to call tech support, it's over. Dude, find someone that's like 15 years old and have him fix your shit. He'll be way faster and way better, and probably cheaper too. Because tech support, they didn't even speak my language, and I'm like, what the fuck did you just say? Like, I can't even hear as it is, and you want me to understand that? No, I can't do it.
Yeah, I did call support for Microsoft at some point because I put my C++ superset software on their online store or something like that. So I had problems at some point. So I called support, and it was like somebody from India. It was outsourced in India, and it was not the same time zone. So I had to fucking answer their call during the night. It's like, come on, man. Are you serious? They don't even adapt to our time zone.
No.
And I couldn't understand what he was saying anyway, so
Yeah, dude, it's so funny because you hear them right, and then they say, "Well, let me just get it in your computer and fix it." And you're like, "No." They keep telling me hackers sound like you and do the same shit, so no, cannot be in my computer.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's bad, man. I had to learn everything and get, have the little USB with all your Windows loaded up on it so you can reset your computer at any time. And then never put the good stuff on your regular computer. Always have it on a backup and always clear a new device anytime it goes in. You know what I mean? And wipe everything out. Yeah. It's sad, man, that they let this stuff happen. And it's because they're making money somehow on it. Like, how are they going to sell me software to fix my stuff if they don't break it?
Yeah, I know. It's the same thing with the Microsoft updates. Have you noticed every time you buy a new Microsoft computer, it's ultra fast and everything, but every day you download these Microsoft updates, and after a year, your computer is so slow that it's unusable, just
That's right.
Mike's latest computer. So it's obvious, it's intentional. They want you to buy a new freaking computer. So it's all marketing. Same. And talking about Microsoft, have you heard? I heard that if you have Windows 11, you have to downgrade to Windows 10 because it's so bad. It has so many breaches and problems. It's better to
It helps to have
retrograde.
it helps to have a non-volatile memory extension as your primary hard drive with a PCI Express 4.0 extension, or yeah. So like that really helps speed up. Like when you have that activated, the 4.0, it really helps speed up your hard drive, even if it's bogged down by all that crap.
Well, if your motherboard supports it, yeah.
Yeah, it's gotta support it. Like I have one of those like server gaming hybrid motherboards.
You're gonna say something, Lulu?
I was saying like an external memory bank.
An inkjet print? Did I hear that right?
No, like an external memory bank, like like a couple terabytes of external memory.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
I think that's what he said. He said he had a detached memory, so that's got to be what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, those are cool to boot up with, man. And just have your primary on there, and then everything else goes into, whatever drive you have on your computer.
So,
yeah, I like that external one, man. You can throw all kinds of stuff on there.
Yeah, but if you kind of overclock your hard drive, You crank it up to the maximum, your hard drive is gonna die sooner. Also, that's a problem, Ben.
Yeah. I used to do that all the time, overclock my processor, and yeah,
Well,
it would.
overclocking your hard drive that's really like for mechanical hard drives. Solid state drives don't really act that way.
Yeah, good point. SSD, but SSD, you still have a maximum number of times you can write to the memory.
That is true.
Yeah,
But they like I've been using mine for example for the last like 4 to 6 years, and I haven't had any issues with it at all.
yeah. I've been
And
using
I
my
put a
SSD.
lot of data, like just so you know, I put a lot of data on my stuff, and I take a lot of data off. I
Yeah,
have archives of like video assets and stuff like that for all sorts of editing purposes. So I have a lot of data on my hard drive. So I don't know if you get the right hard drive, they last. You just have
yeah,
to invest.
yeah.
Good
I've got
ones are always more
the
expensive.
same computer for the last 15 years. I'm using Linux on it.
Mm.
I just had to update it once.
Oh,
You
Linux
know,
is great. That's my favorite.
yeah. Well, it depends what you want to do. If you want to do development, Linux is the best. If you want to connect to the connect to the internet or use a terminal to connect to another server, then a MacBook is the best. And if you want to play games, then Windows is the best. So it depends what you want to do.
What are you gonna say, Lulu?
I got this thing, external memory. It works with Windows, 6 terabytes. I don't know if you can see the picture.
Cool.
Yeah, pretty neat. Works. I have
Yeah,
things.
I have one myself.
Since when you have it, Lulu?
I've had it maybe 6 years.
Oh, okay. So it should be slow and buggy right now.
I don't know. I haven't plugged it in a year, so I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have things
yeah,
on. I I don't want to plug it into a computer that's connected to the net.
yeah.
In here, they
'Cause-
don't want if it's connected to the internet, it means it's hackable. But if it's not, so I
Yeah,
got a computer that I could just connect it to reorganize what's in there.
yeah.
No
Um,
secrets, but just, like a lot of other people's information, for work and things like that. So I don't, like I don't, it's not right for people to access it. No.
yeah,
What I do is I just have the SSD for primary programming for the Windows, and then everything else goes onto another drive. That way, when it comes up and starts your computer, it instantly populates the Windows stuff, but never anything else. And it'll keep the clogging in your computer down. So, because when you get to those other hard drives, they have to pull everything up, piece by piece by piece. And the SSD is an instant pull up, for everything. So, it's better to run it that way. It makes your computer faster, and you don't get as much bogged down. That, and I have 64 gigs of RAM in there, and just, you know what I mean? Thing hauls ass.
yeah. But the cool thing to for people who likes embedded programming, I'm working all day long on the NVIDIA Jetson embedded boards, and they update it every 6 months. They're using the ARM processor. It's slower than the Intel processor, but it's getting faster and faster, and at some point, man, it's gonna get pretty powerful. So everybody needs to watch, have a heads up, and because it's pretty easy to program like a brain with the open source DeepSeek, and you put that on the NVIDIA Jetson board. I mean, it's pretty. Science fiction is not it's not science fiction is not fiction anymore. So
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah, I
Sorry.
used last time I used Linux, I used Lime, and it was for my 3D printer so that I could set up a new network channel for them, so they can go faster. So
yeah. So Linux.
not a whole lot, like I said, just to program that thing out. So
Yeah.
it wasn't much different than DOS. It, same little boxes, same skip this, hit that. You know what I mean? Put in programming code and you go. It wasn't that difficult.
Well, it's much easier these days than it used to be because back in the 90s, using the modems, you had to download the RPM. I was using Red Hat, but back then, you had to download the RPM packages one by one over the modem, and all the dependencies. Yeah, that was a nightmare.
Oh, I found that video, Philip. I want to show you. I'm going to share my screen here of the two plates and the induct current that's created when you pull the plates away from each other. I'm going
Okay.
to show that video. I found it. That's why I was like, all right, bear with me here.
Prices were just too good.
You're gonna need a bigger.
Today, we're going to work on a whole new concept, and that is the concept of electric flux. We've come a long way. We started out with Coulomb's law, we got electric field lines, and now we have electric flux.
Doesn't that guy wear like colorful jackets now?
An electric field, it is like so.
Hold on a sec. Bear with me here. I want to find.
Like Joseph's Technicolor Dreamcoat?
Yeah, not that same guy. Looks like him.
Trying to see if this is the right video. What the heck is going on? Hold on. Bear with me for a second.
He said, "Yeah, it's him." Dude, I messaged that guy once. It was cool that he got back to me, but I think it was just because he was being a dick and just said some negative shit. And it was like, oh, well, you should have just ignored me then. I would have been more polite.
I had it and then something happened. Shoot. I'll find it again. Hold on.
Blame it on Trudeau.
Yeah, really.
I like Julius Sumner when it comes to the physics and stuff, and he talks about resonance. That guy's like a master.
Yeah, there was a couple of videos like that. Back in the 70s, there were the teachers, the professors, they were a lot more motivated to teach physics. These days, it's it's all the cool videos date back from the 70s.
Yeah, and they showed the experiments right there in the class. Everything. It wasn't anything like it is now. They one after the next. This is why it does this, and they show you the experiment, and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
Those are the best ones.
Yeah.
There was a professor from the University of Nottingham. Forgot what's his name, but one brilliant physicist, older guy, very old actually. I can't remember his name, but I'll look it up in a minute. He was able to, I don't know how he did it with like the smallest atomic structures. Build like write it in something, but using atomic structures of the element table, and they called it the smallest elements table ever made. But he was the physicist to to be able to do that. I'll look him up, but I think he's one brilliant physicist. Like, you listen to him, you can't, you watch one video and it feels like you just want to watch the second one, and like that, because he's really good. But I'll search him up in a minute and I'll get you guys his name.
Yeah, there was also the teacher who was explaining the spinning wheel and the weird effects, the weird forces you have when you have a spinning wheel. And it dates back from the 70s. I'll try to find that video as well.
So there was Taryn was talking about the Air Force put out good videos on some of this stuff, and they had one on crystals and how they work and stuff like that, and magnetic fields. Man, it was really good. It's in black and white, old school, so they tell you everything. So yeah, I really like that guy. He was pretty good at it. And it was real simple, easy to understand.
Still trying to find that spot where it's an hour video, so I gotta find the right spot where he's showing the demonstration.
Yeah, I actually live between two Air Force bases. The one over there in San Diego, and then March over here, right over Riverside area. So, yeah, if I start flying anything in my yard, man, they'd be at my house in like minutes. And then some dude, you guys see on there, you probably didn't, in California, he got arrested for flying his drone over by where they were doing the water drops. And he busted a Canadian airplane. So there's a big hole in the wing from his drone. So he got, 3 years for interrupting their flight and almost causing them to have problems. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And he tried to play it off like, oh, no, it wasn't that bad. Dude, there was a big hole in the plane. Like, you screwed up. Like, you should have never been flying that by there.
Yeah. Right, look at that. StreamYard. Can you see my screen?
No.
Hold on a sec here. Okay.
Can you see my screen now?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
This is the one where he hangs it on the string and force?
yeah.
Yeah, you can do that with a weighted disc and a motor. And when you hold it in your hand, it likes to stay in one spot. But then when you move it, it has a special way of moving in order to get to the next spot. There's like a torsion on it as it gets to the next level.
Cool.
Oh, man, just hang the thing on the string already, for God's sake.
Exactly.
Oh, the older I get, the less patience I have, man. Just get on with it. Look at them. They're like, oh, yeah, hurry the fuck up.
I could see you at the lecture saying that.
Dude, they would hate me in the audience because it's like, dude, just get on with it. Like you could babble at me when you're having me in awe of your experiment. Man, look how many chalkboards that guy's got. Like triple
Yeah, I
layer.
know. Yeah, it's at MIT.
Look at this guy just going. What? Oh yeah. You gonna ride your bicycle next? Come on.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow.
The one with the rope is pretty cool, though.
Oh yeah. If we ever get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is, finally. There you go. Come on, keep up with it. Keep up with it. Get moving. Yep. Oh wow.
So anyway, you can guess it's gonna go the other way.
Yep. There you go. I think we've all seen this like a million times.
Yeah, that's nothing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's still cool to watch it though.
Yeah, but anyway, my point is, you know, that was pretty cool. At least that the professor, they spent time, you know, explaining weird stuff like that, and I never had any teacher explaining a spinning wheel in my physics classes here. So anyway, I'm just saying that it's
There was a really cool guy that had a Van der Graaf, and he was talking about it on the physics channel. And he did all the experiments to explain it, where the fields were, the red light, the blue light, all of it. It was really an excellent video.
yeah.
Did you find it, Mike?
Yeah, I think I found it.
I shared
Oh,
that
all right.
the physicist that I was telling you about in the chat, in the group like chat. I don't know his name. I couldn't find his name, but I found one of his videos.
All right, I'm gonna share my screen here. I found it finally.
So our trick is to use a 9-volt battery to make a 1000-volt capacitor. And the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor depends on the area and the distance. So the formula is C equals epsilon A over D, where this is the area over the distance times a constant, which is the permittivity of the medium in between these plates, which in this case would be air. Capacitance is also equal to charge over the voltage difference between the plates. So if we equate these two equations with each other, we see that we can solve for the voltage as QD over epsilon A. Now, if we look at this formula carefully, we see that if you increase the distance between the plates, but you keep the same charge and the same area, then the voltage has to increase. Well, let's see if we can make this equation work in real life. So coming back over to our experimental setup here, we have our capacitor, and what I'm going to do is kind of make sure these things are close to each other. These two plates are close to each other, so I put a piece of paper in here, make sure they're not touching. And now what we're going to do is take our 9-volt battery and charge up our capacitor, and we see that we're at 9 volts here on our voltage display in that little box there. It doesn't show very well on the scale, but it's we see it's at 9 volts. So now I'm going to disconnect our power here. So the charge is now stored on this capacitor, and we're very quickly going to increase the distance between these plates, just like in the formula. So let's have a go at this. Okay, ready, set, go. And now we have more than 1,000 volts difference between these two capacitors. So
Oh, it stays the same.
dangerous, but there's not really a lot of electric charge here. So probably if I touch these two, goes back down to 0 basically. So anyway, what we've done is use a small amount of voltage to create a large amount of voltage using the principle of capacitance. So I'll see you next time.
That's cool.
Interesting.
Cool, eh?
It is really neat.
And he did that with a 9-volt battery and got 1,000 volts.
I'm gonna try with my 500 million volts battery.
Poof. Big puff of smoke.
The man
I'll
who
see
blew
it.
up the world.
Yeah, I'll see the puff of smoke from Toronto, from Montreal. Oh, actually, you know what will happen? He'll blow up. He'll launch, fill up in the air, and he'll land in my in Toronto, 6 hours away.
Yeah.
It's as long as he builds a parachute into his chair, he should be okay.
Yeah.
It's still in the snow. Still in the snow, unfortunately.
Yeah. Might hit a snowbank pretty hard.
Oh.
I thought that was a pretty cool video. I figured that'd be a good video to show.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's really cool. I'll have to try that.
Yep. So he got those plates really close together, basically about a thou distance between the two plates. So basically like a piece of paper.
That's what it looked like he had in there.
Yep, piece of paper. Yep. Yep, very cool, very easy to demonstrate.
So yeah, about the spinning wheel thing, it's kind of similar to because when you spin a wheel, you increase the kinetic angular energy, and that changes the attraction with the force. I need to make calculations on that because the mainstream says if you have a spinning wheel, that it's not going to change the weight, but I don't think that's true because I proved it many times with the liquid metal vortex. Not only the weight changes, but depending on the direction, the weight is going to be different. So
Yeah,
if you have a clockwise or counterclockwise liquid metal spinning, then the weight is going to be different. So I need to put my mind onto it and have the correct calculation. I think it's because there's two effects at the same time. One is the Newtonian kinetic angular energy I need to consider, and the other one is the effect of the gravitomagnetism or gravitomagnetism that is very similar to kinetic energy, by the way, because gravitomagnetism exists only if the object is moving. Kinetic energy is only there if the object is moving. So for me, they're both the same. So I'm gonna try to unify them. So get prepared for some mathematics next week, buddies. I'm gonna blast you with some equations next week.
Well, I'm going to tell you, if you have a weighted disc and you rotate it, it'll, number one, won't sit on the scale. That's an impossibility without that number going like this all day. And then number two, there's a force direction there, but it's not what you think it is. It's more of a stabilizing force than it is a lift force of any kind. So I would take a motor and run it in your hand and see what it feels like before you do all the calculations.
Yeah, I already did with the grinder and with the 2 years ago the grinder. Maybe I can post the video again. The grinder, where is it? Just one sec. Yeah, it's right here. One sec, I'll show it again. Window, StreamYard, share. Yeah, this one right here.
It's an interesting grinder. And it's going to wobble back and forth a little bit. Yep. That's about what it does.
So the weight clearly changes and stays down as well. So that was just the grinder. The other one is the liquid metal vortex.
Yeah, you can see the scale moving.
So when you reversed it, did it have an effect of lifting it?
No, it increases the weight. Actually, it does the opposite effect.
But it doesn't reverse?
Yeah, it does the reverse effect of what I was hoping. So I need to make the correct calculations. I'll do that tomorrow, and I think I've got. It's been in my head for too long, and now I need to come up with the right mathematics. Because either way, the liquid metal vortex, the last experiment you saw, if I spin it in one way or the other way, they both gain weight, but one way is lesser. He gains weight. He gains less weight than the other way. So it's kind of weird. I thought it would lose weight, but it still gains weight, but not as much as the other way. So yeah, it's because it's more precise. The liquid metal vortex is more precise than the grinder because the grinder there might be wind or something like that. But the liquid metal vortex, there ain't no wind affecting the apparatus. So yeah, man, I need to come up with the right mathematics, and I'll do that this weekend. But I'll have to work on C++ superset because I gotta sell my software, man. Oh, but
Yeah. No, I get it. It's cool.
yeah. So yeah, I think yes. I heard Bernie said he's gonna come back in 20 minutes, but
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I'm not sure.
Is he doing a stream tonight or?
He usually does, doesn't he?
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
think
sure.
he is. Yeah. See if there's any other videos I want to show. Oh. Okay, here's that's a little long. Let's see here. It's another dollared video. Audio kind of sucks.
Oh, I found your picture you're looking for earlier.
Which one? Oh, Awesome.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, that's a work of art.
That's right.
Yeah, that's funny, man. Oh,
Absolute
jeez.
work of art.
No, you know you're in the same boat, Nathan.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I should
Yeah.
just take that little portion of what he said, put it on my video. That would be fucking hilarious. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
get a little bit of payback there.
Yeah.
You could always go and post the link of your video on the comment section.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to troll somebody over that. It's all free internet stuff anyway. You know what I mean? It's just when you're the only one to describe something in that fashion, and then somebody comes along and does it, you know where they got it.
Well, no,
They could try to tell you all the fancy stuff they want. You know where they got it.
no, you could put source of information and put your link. I mean, it's only
That's that's
Just
all right.
needs not to be in Nathan's path anytime in his short life. Yeah.
It won't matter. It won't matter soon. The way how fast my numbers are going up, it won't matter.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time before you know what I mean. It breaks out for me.
Yep.
So, but I do have the video of that actual field on my channel. It was posted a year ago, I think it was, or close to it. So, yeah, and I showed how it was built, and then you know what I mean, what it's doing and where it is, and then how it messes with your computer in one way, and then if you flip the field, how it contains it. So, yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Yep, some cool stuff. Just want to find one more video here before we call it a night. I've saved a lot of good videos over the years. Trying to find one that's not too long.
I did not snore tonight, so that's an improvement.
Yeah. No wine.
Yeah.
No, what is it? Cup of noodles? Is that what you eaten last time?
Well, you had nachos. You usually have nachos every
Is
Friday.
it nachos?
Yeah, nachos and wine usually.
Nice.
Nachos.
What an amazing combination, huh?
Yeah. Exactly.
It's got to be the French part of the Canadian thing, that wine with anything.
Oh, here's a video I want to show you. This is kind of cool. All right.
I mean, nacho still has cheese, wine and cheese.
I guess so, yeah.
But-
It's like the pub with wine.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to show you something kind of cool here. I always like watching this.
Wow, Mike.
What's that? I'm just going to cut off this sound there just in case I get issues.
Hey, Mike, have you seen this done with a thing of water?
No, I haven't seen it done in water.
Oh, it's cool. It puts out the frequency patterns like you see them everywhere on the internet.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It's just way more accurate. It's cool.
Amazing patterns, eh? Look at that. Like that cannot be there has to be some intelligent behind this. It's not by chance that it can make those formations. Energy, frequency, and vibration.
Oh, look how pretty how it transitions from like one completely
And that's
different.
and that's in real time too. That's how fast it changes.
That is pretty.
Look at that. It's going up. Just the patterns are so geometrically perfect.
So I guess the higher the hertz, the more intricate the design.
Yeah. You can see the hertz levels going up. Look at that. That's incredible. I always like watching this. Look at that. It's like magic, eh?
Cool.
Isn't that awesome? 5,200 hertz.
Oh, that looks really.
5,284 hertz. That's neat. It's amazing how those frequencies make a completely different image.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody had the patience to actually test out like a large number of these frequency and match them up with things that we've seen as, like on different artifacts, on different ancient paintings, just to see like, did they know this stuff then?
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
If you put a certain winding pattern in a geometry coil,
Mm-hmm.
it makes the exact frequency pattern on it.
Oh, there you go. Is that the sound of that a 3D printer in the background?
Yes, they're going to be going off for the next couple of days. So I'm sorry about that.
I just wanted to know what that sound was.
Yeah, they're on 24/7 duty right now, trying to finish my project.
I'm excited to see it done.
Well, I'm excited to see it, number one, put together, but then, to see it run will be cool. And it's like the first iteration of it. So catastrophic failure, run all the time. It's all the same to me. You know what I mean? All I care about is that they rotate counter directional in the beginning, because I already have plans to redo them and change them. Because when they go together, like, I want permanent spacing. So I want to have bearing to bearing where I could put in a little, spacer in there, so that no matter what failure it has, the spacing's good. So, yeah, I don't want it to just sit there and then loosen and drop. That would suck. So that would be instant catastrophic failure. So, always something to change.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, we're past 11 here. We've done a good 2 hours. I'd like to thank our chat tonight. Chat's been awesome. Really good. A lot of stuff happening on the chat. We go live again next Friday night at 9 o'clock Eastern, as always. Don't forget to check out Nathan's channel. You're going live at 10 o'clock Pacific.
Yeah, tomorrow with Joe.
Yeah, 1 o'clock Eastern. And Ben, you got any upcoming streams or?
Nope, just the Fringe Think Tank on Monday.
Yeah, it's family day here in Canada, so it's a holiday for us. So we got this big storm coming tomorrow. And, yeah, so we'll be digging up for the next couple of days for sure. We had a storm last weekend. We had a storm on Wednesday, and then we're getting hit 2 days of snowstorms tomorrow and Sunday, and even possibly maybe more on Monday. So yeah, we're getting blasted here. So it's, nobody wants to leave the house.
Right on, man.
All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Yep. Thanks a lot, chat. Thanks a lot, our panel, Nathan, Lulu, Philip. We'll see everybody next week.
Thank
Take
Thank
care.
you.
All right, take it easy.
Take it easy. Bye.